Chef Jesse Kekoa Bright with Four Peaks Brewing Company, and welcome to the kitchen at 8th Street. Today we are going to go through our pumpkin porter virtual beer dinner. We're releasing it a little bit earlier this year just to kind of give everybody something to look forward to and kind of get everybody excited for the fall and hopefully new upcoming things that we're going to be doing here at Four Peaks and at 8th Street. So welcome. We're going to go through this dinner step by step. Don't worry, it's going to be really easy to go through and put together, and hopefully you enjoy it. It's going to pair pumpkin porter, some using ingredients inside the dishes, and others kind of pairing some of those flavors that we use inside the beer when we're making the beer. So we're going to kind of give you a little variety. We got a lovely salad, some fresh made pasta, and Chef Brian Graff's world famous pumpkin porter cheesecake. So we're going to walk you step by step. Everything that you need to successfully put this meal together is going to come inside your kit. So let's get started. Our first dish is going to be a roasted pumpkin and spinach salad. We're going to have some fresh feta cheese, some sweetie drop peppers, some peak spice pepitas, which are pumpkin seeds, and you're also going to have a little bit of fresh baby spinach in there, all tossed in a balsamic vinaigrette that we make in-house. All right, so let's get started plating. All right, so in your kit, you're going to have a container of fresh baby spinach, some fresh feta cheese crumble, sweetie drop peppers, some peak spice pepitas or pumpkin seeds, some honey roasted pumpkin, and some of our balsamic vinaigrette. Real simple dish. All you're going to do is open up your container, go ahead, dump all that spinach inside of your bowl. Use any kind of mixing bowl you like. I like to do a little bit of the ingredients inside the salad and then save a little bit for on top just to garnish. But you definitely want to kind of toss all those flavors together so as you eat, you dig into each bite every time, and it's a little bit different. So I went ahead and did the roasted pumpkin first, and then the sweetie drop peppers. They're not spicy, they're just a little bit of sweet. They're really cool peppers. So they kind of give you a little burst of sweetness, a little bit of spice, but don't worry, it's not going to be too spicy. Then we have some of this fresh feta cheese. Just go ahead and kind of crumble it in there. And mix a little bit in. Like I said, save a little bit for the top. Same thing with your peak spice pepitas or pumpkin seeds. So we have a house seasoning that we call our peak seasoning. It's got a little bit of spice to it, a little bit of heat, but a nice balance of flavors. So we kind of toss those and roast those all together. And then we just pop them in the oven and roast them off, and then they get a great color and flavor going to them. So next step, once you got all your ingredients kind of in there, you're going to take your dressing and dress as little or as heavy as you like. If you like a lot of dressing, go ahead and use all of it, but use it as much as you like to do. So what I like to do is I like to dress around the bowl a little bit instead of directly on the greens, so you can kind of bring those flavors in and kind of test it. Remember, you can always add more, but you can't take it away once it's in there. So add a little bit, see how it looks, if it tastes it. If it looks good to you and it's about the dressing you like, then go ahead. If it's not, go ahead and add some more. All right, we're just kind of giving this a nice little toss together, dressing all those ingredients. And that's pretty much it. You're ready to go. We're going to grab our bowl here. Like I said, I like to put a nice little layer of greens, all your ingredients, and just kind of plate it and layer it on top, so as you eat through your salad, you get a little bit of burst from every single ingredient in there. The pumpkin's gonna obviously pair well with the pumpkin porter. The cheese is gonna give you that creaminess. You're gonna get some crunch from the pepitas, a little burst of sweetness from the sweetie drop peppers. And go ahead and just pile that all on top of there. You get nice little layers going. And I like to save a little bit for after, so you can kind of just garnish put a little bit on top so you can kind of see some of your ingredients. And add a little pop of color kind of all the way around it. We're going to finish off with just a little feta cheese crumble right on top. And that's pretty much it. You're ready to go. You can enjoy this with some of your pumpkin porter, and you're going to match those flavors. They're going to have some really bold flavors in the pumpkin porter, and the salad is going to kind of counteract and hopefully dance with some of those flavors in there. So that's your first dish. Go ahead and enjoy that, and we'll get started on the second one. So for our first course, the spinach and roasted pumpkin salad, the inspiration behind that, kind of like a lot of where I find inspiration, is not only from the beer, but from our labels and the beautiful colors and things that our marketing team and put together. So I kind of like to match some of those colors and some of those thought processes and put them all together. Inside you're going to have obviously the pumpkin, the roast pumpkin to pair with that. It's got a little bit of honey, so it's going to pair with that sweetness and kind of balance all those full flavors that you get from the kind of those pumpkin spice. The fresh greens, I wanted to keep it a little bit light and salad, a little bit light on the salad, and we're still pretty hot outside, so wanted to give somebody something a little bit refreshing, but still pairing those notes. Pumpkin porter is a very robust beer, and it has some sweetness to it. So to kind of balance some of that, we brought in some of the feta cheese to give you a salty, creamy aspect that will kind of go together with that. And as well as the sweetie drop peppers. You can have a little bit of sweet, a little bit of heat, but they're really going to kind of balance and pop those flavors together and complement some of that pumpkin porter when you're kind of drinking them together. What else is in there? Oh. And then obviously the pumpkin seeds. With our pumpkin seeds, obviously we paired those with the pumpkin porter as to use kind of all the plant, the seeds, some of the fruit and everything, and bring those kind of together. So with the spice on that, it's also going to balance some of those really heavy fall flavors inside of that, inside of the pumpkin porter. All right, that's going to bring us to our second course. This is our entree, and you're going to have a pumpkin ravioli with a sage cream sauce. My inspiration behind this dish was we love to team up with other local businesses. For this one, we've teamed up with Denmark Foods, who are an amazing sausage company that makes our Kiltlifter brats. You can find our peach ale brats in your local fries. And we love to team up with them and create all these beautiful products that pair with some of the beers that we've made. So we've asked them to do a pumpkin porter sausage. So we're going to use a little bit of that inside of our recipe, kind of in the cream sauce. And then we handmade raviolis with a little bit of pumpkin and mascarpone cheese inside. And then you're going to finish it off with a little bit of candied walnuts. All right, that's good. All right, so in your kit, you're going to receive a packet of our house-made sage cream sauce that's got a little bit of that Denmark pumpkin porter sausage inside, and homemade raviolis. Yes, we made every single ravioli by hand. Inside, you're going to have fresh roasted pumpkin, a little bit of mascarpone, some Parmesan, and we went ahead and cooked them, part-cooked them a little bit for you. So everything here is going to be cooked. And then we're going to have a little bit of spiced walnuts just for some crunch and some texture, and then some fried sage. So we're playing off a ravioli, a classic ravioli of sage and brown butter with walnuts or usually pecans. So we're kind of playing on that with this and doing more of a cream sauce and some pumpkin in the ravioli filling. So to get started, you're going to just take both your ravioli and your cream sauce, and you're just gonna drop it in some boiling water. I got some already going in there. When we go to plate this, we're gonna do 2 applications. So one, everything is cooked. You can just kind of mix it all together. If you're scared of pots and pans or don't want to do dishes, that's fine. Everything's cooked. You can just plate it straight out of the bags. I prefer to do a little bit of basting the ravioli in some of the sauce just to kind of cover them and bring it all together and have that ravioli kind of suck those flavors kind of in and cover all of the ravioli with some of the sauce. So you're gonna leave your bags. You're gonna start your heat off at about a high heat. Bring that water to a boil. Make sure your pot is big enough to fit both of those bags inside. You're gonna bring it up to a boil and then simmer your heat. And really everything in there is cooked, so once it's heated all the way through, you're ready to go. So once your contents of your bag have all kind of been heated all the way through, you're gonna notice they kind of look a little bit of separated area. Don't worry, you didn't do anything wrong. This kind of, once it's cold and heats back up, things tend to separate. But in this nifty bag, it's all sealed. Make sure you got a good seal. And just go ahead and just kind of push it together and mix it all up. All right, once everything is hot, you're gonna carefully remove your bag from the water, kind of let it drip off a little bit there. And then I'm gonna go over to my pan. I have a saucepan just kind of on a little bit of a medium high heat, and then I'm going to empty the ingredients of the bag out. Make sure you get all those flavors in there. Then I'm going to take my raviolis that are fully cooked already. So you're going to want to kind of mix that sauce together. If you see your sauce breaking a little bit, just go ahead and kind of stir it around. And then add your ravioli. There's a little tear right there in the bag. Go ahead and tear it open. And drop your raviolis right inside. All we're doing with the cream sauce is just coating the raviolis and kind of glazing over on that. So everything is cooked in your ravioli and your sauce. All you're gonna do is just reheat it a little bit to make sure you make it warm. And then if you're doing the sauce method in the saucepan, just heat it real low heat, then place your raviolis on, make sure you coat them with the sauce, and then you're just gonna plate by putting them right inside the bowl. Kind of just layer them all the way around, kind of in a circle, and then you're gonna take all that pumpkin porter sausage and drizzle it kind of all over the top of that. We used a little bit of nutmeg inside the cream sauce and a little bit of allspice to match some of those pumpkin spice seasons and flavors. So they're gonna pair really well with the pumpkin porter that already kind of have those notes. So we went pretty bold in that. And then inside the ravioli, we went pretty much straightforward, just pumpkin seed, or just roasted pumpkin, mascarpone cheese, and a little bit of Parmesan. So he wanted the pumpkin porter sausage to kind of stand out and to pair really well with the pumpkin porter beer. So next you're just gonna grab your spiced walnuts and kind of just add a little bit on top, as little or as much as you like, kind of adding crunch and texture. Walnuts are really good for you. They're going to give you some added protein and add a nice little crunch factor inside of there. And then finally, to garnish, we're going to give you, if you like, a little bit of fried sage. So I'll just fry just sage leaves, fresh sage leaves that we kind of just put in the fryer just to crisp up a little bit and give you another texture and crunch on your plate. And that's it. Your pumpkin porter ravioli with sage cream sauce and spiced walnuts. So that's it. That's our second course, your entree, our pumpkin ravioli with the sage cream sauce and pumpkin porter Denmark Foods sausage. So the inspiration behind this was kind of a play on a classic dish that's a ravioli in a brown butter sage sauce with pecans. So our play on it is we did a cream sauce utilizing some Denmark sausage and some of the spice you're gonna get from the pumpkin porter, the pumpkin spice. So you're gonna have some nutmeg, some cinnamon, some clove in there. All those flavors are gonna kind of pair and match well together. So this is kind of where we used it in hand in a similar taste profile as the beer. All right, that's gonna bring us to our final course and everybody's favorite, the pumpkin porter cheesecake. So every year, our pastry chef, Brian Graff, makes these delicious pumpkin porter cheesecakes using our pumpkin porter with a traditional cheesecake batter. He makes hundreds of them. People go crazy for them. We got such a request to have them available for people to pick up that he started making them and makes them every year, and people just love them. So now you're able to take it home and make it at your house. So we're going to go through and start plating this one. Again, super easy. All you're doing is putting things, no cooking involved. All right, so in your kit, you're going to get a individual pumpkin porter cheesecake, a Four Roses bourbon caramel sauce, and some pepita brittle or pumpkin seed brittle that we make here in the house. So to plate this, super easy. All we're just gonna do is pipe all these together. Take your cheesecake, kind of remove it from the mold. That's gonna go right in the center of your plate there. Then you're gonna pour your Four Roses Special Reserve caramel all over the top of it. And then take your pumpkin seed pepita brittle and just kind of go around and garnish a little bit. That's gonna add a nice little crunch, a little texture for you to enjoy. And just like that, it's super easy and you're ready to go. Okay, and that's your last dish, your dessert, our famous pumpkin porter cheesecake that Chef Brian Graff put together. He'll probably have them available for purchase, but you get to bring one home early and have a little bit of heaven right inside your own home. So the thought behind this was incorporating something similar to a pumpkin pie, but doing a little bit different because we're a little bit different here at Four Peaks and we like to switch things up, so we went ahead and did it in a cheesecake form. So you got a graham cracker crust, a pumpkin porter cheesecake filling, some pepita brittle, and some Four Bourbon Special Reserve caramel. So I hope you enjoy this meal and you had as much fun as I did plating it for you guys. So thank you guys so much for joining us for our pumpkin porter virtual beer dinner. And enjoy, and we'll see you next time.